Welcome to the snapshot of The Mindful Athlete, Secrets to Pure Performance by George Mumford. Here we'll explore the key insights from The Mindful Athlete. Introduction. The Chicago Bulls were behind the Utah Jazz by 1 point with 18 seconds left in Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals. Karl Malone of the Jazz had the ball when suddenly Michael Jordan came in with the steal, flew down the court, and made the championship-winning shot. This play would go down in NBA history. Later, Jordan would comment that he was in the zone at the end of that game. At the time of that play, Jordan and his teammates had been working with mindfulness expert George Mumford for 5 years. Prior to being hired by the Bulls, Mumford had co-founded the Center for Mindfulness, teaching stress and impulse management to prison inmates. While doing this work, he started to understand that we all have greatness within us. It's just a matter of knowing how to uncover it. One of the best ways to connect to this part of yourself is by using mindfulness. As you read on, you'll learn about the key components of mindfulness that Mumford calls the 5 spiritual superpowers. 1. Mindfulness. Teach your brain to focus on the present moment. 2. Concentration. Ground yourself internally to cut out distractions. 3. Insight. Know your mental weaknesses and address them. 4. Right effort. Direct your practice toward your goals. 5. Trust. Bring it all together and have faith in your ability to handle whatever comes. By cultivating your abilities in all these areas, you can access your inner greatness, just as Michael Jordan did in the 98 NBA Finals. Growing up in an unstable household in a dangerous Boston neighborhood, Mumford always dreamed of escaping through professional basketball. When repeated injuries ended his basketball career in high school, Mumford turned to drugs and alcohol to cope. Even as he graduated from college, landed a job in finance, and got married, his drug problem deepened. Mumford was addicted to heroin when a friend dragged him to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. That night, realizing his ass was on fire, he knew it was time to make a change. After completing a detox program, Mumford started practicing meditation. At first, he couldn't even sit still, but he was desperate for a way out of his old life and pushed on. He quit his finance job, went back to school for a master's in counseling psychology, and dedicated himself to becoming a meditation instructor. After co-founding the Center for Mindfulness, Mumford started teaching mindfulness to prison inmates, many of whom had tough upbringings similar to his own. A few years later, Phil Jackson hired Mumford to teach mindfulness to the players of the Chicago Bulls, reconnecting Mumford with his childhood passion for basketball. Mindfulness. Eye of the hurricane. You're at the free throw line in the final seconds of the championship game. Your team is down by 1, and you need to make both shots to bring home the victory. What's going through your head? If you haven't practiced mindfulness in preparation for this moment, it may be hard to avoid compulsive thoughts, such as how you'd let down your teammates if you miss, or how you just wish you were already celebrating in the locker room. With these speculations swirling, it becomes very difficult to make those game-winning shots. Mindfulness involves training your brain to focus on the present. When an athlete is in the zone, their mind is only operating in the here and now. But this isn't an easy state to achieve because the untrained brain tends to dive into memories and speculations on a whim, taking focus away from the task at hand. To reliably access the zone, you must exercise your brain just like you would any other muscle. In an untrained state, the brain is easily swept up, feeling overwhelmed and other intense emotions, which distract you from a task. You start to overanalyze the situation, doubt yourself, and imagine everything that could go wrong. Mindfulness is about unlearning those superfluous mental responses and simply letting instincts do their work. So how do you go from frazzled to mindful? Just like the eye of a hurricane, you have a peaceful center that, with practice, you can connect to in high-pressure moments. Meditation is the means through which you cultivate this inner calm. Practicing meditation means sitting still and paying attention to the sensations in your body. When the mind inevitably wanders, you return your focus to the present moment through your breathing. This may not sound like much, but when you meditate, you're teaching yourself to witness thoughts and emotions that pass through your mind as if from a distance. As a result, your brain learns that just because emotions are present doesn't mean they deserve your attention. The skills you learn through meditation can then be drawn upon in high-pressure situations, allowing you to move past emotions that might otherwise pull down your performance. Beginning a meditation practice is simple. Just take 5 minutes before a workout to sit still and bring awareness to your body and breath. Concentration. Focused awareness. If you watch footage of the 2013 NBA playoffs, you might notice that, just before taking the court, LeBron James keeps to himself and has his eyes closed. In these moments, rather than thinking about the game, James is focusing on his breathing and connecting to his center of calm. Conscious breathing works at a physiological level. Breathing is controlled by the autonomic nervous system, which is made up of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. The former is connected to your stress response and hormonally cues the fight-or-flight reaction. When your bloodstream is highly concentrated with stress hormones, you lose your capacity to think clearly. In contrast, the parasympathetic nervous system acts as a brake to this stress accelerator. Deep breathing is the simplest technique to activate the brake and calm yourself down. Another way you can take advantage of your physiology is through outcome expectation. Your brain can't fully differentiate between what you imagine and what you experience. For example, if you watch someone reach their hand toward a blackboard and pull down as if scraping it with their nails, you'll cringe, even if they don't actually make contact and produce the horrible sound you expect. When visualizing a positive result, your brain rehearses the situation as if you were physically practicing it, better preparing you to come through in the actual moment. Mindfulness can be applied to physical practice as well. To experience the benefits of mindfulness in your performance, you must develop a sense of intuition through repetition. You may look at professional athletes in all of their innate talents, but their skills mostly emerge from their willingness to do something over and over until it becomes second nature. Staying present during each moment of practice will help you find a singular focus and ignore thoughts like, "This is boring," or "I'm tired," the very thoughts that could lead you to call it quits. You can start practicing concentration by challenging yourself to focus for 1 minute on an outcome you want to attain. You can slowly increase the time when you feel ready. Insight. Know thyself. You've heard the phrase, "I'll believe it when I see it," but it better serves your mindfulness practice to change this to, "I'll see it when I believe it." Many spectacularly talented athletes set themselves up for failure because they don't believe in their own abilities. Everyone deals with insecurities and negative self-talk that can pop up and derail you at any moment. To better overcome these adverse thoughts, you must first become aware that they're affecting you. As a tool that allows you to explore your inner world, mindfulness can also help you pinpoint these emotional hang-ups. Negative thoughts about yourself can make you complicit in your own suffering. If you recognize when these inner darknesses are manifesting, you can begin to ignore them. According to Buddha, there are 5 main areas of hindrance: cravings, anger, apathy, anxiety, and doubt. It's important to reflect on which of these barriers you run into most often, so you can start developing strategies to move past them. One of the most common ways people punish themselves is by holding on to past failures. To leave behind your mistakes, you must emphasize to yourself that what happened doesn't define who you are. Just because you sometimes fail doesn't mean you're a failure. To further reframe losses and mistakes, look at them as opportunities to improve. Instead of mentally chiding yourself for a mistake, explore why it happened and what you might be able to change so it doesn't happen again. Your failures are your best teachers because they show you where you need to put in work. Without adversity, you would easily become complacent. To grow your insight skills, ask yourself one of these questions, or something similar, each day. What do you worry about? What emotions are the most and least comfortable for you to feel? Where does stress live in your body? Right effort. Forget thyself. In the myth of Sisyphus, a man is condemned to forever repeat the process of pushing a huge, round boulder up a hill, watch it roll back down, and then start pushing it again. No matter how much effort Sisyphus puts into his task, he'll never make any real progress. Similarly, if you approach your goals with the wrong mentality, it's unlikely that you'll get any closer to achieving them. In the context of mindfulness, make sure your actions are aligned with positive thoughts and feelings. If you don't feel satisfaction while working on a task, step back and recenter. Ground yourself using conscious breathing. Remember why you're doing this work, and begin again with intentionality. By noticing when you're not enjoying your work and then recalibrating your approach, you can avoid the kind of wrong effort that entraps Sisyphus. As you work toward goals, you'll be met with unforeseen adversity. This can be frustrating, but using a right effort mindset helps you understand these circumstances as opportunities to become stronger instead of hindrances that are here only to make you miserable. If anger toward adversity arises, notice it, let yourself feel it, and then use your breath to let it go. Remember that when you work with intention toward your goal, you'll make gains. Your purpose isn't to run away from the curse of adversity, but to find joy in the work and trust that success will come from your continued dedication. Right effort also involves quieting the mind as you work. In high-pressure situations, overthinking is wasted effort and only deters your progress toward the goal. If you spend enough time in focused practice, you'll develop instincts you can trust in big moments. By practicing mindfulness, you'll be able to connect to your calm center, ignore external pressures and unhelpful thoughts, and let your body and subconscious mind perform. To work toward using right effort, keep a journal about the way you respond to a situation each day. What was the situation? What thoughts and feelings came up for you in the moment? How did you act during and after? What belief systems caused you to act the way you did? Trust. The space between thoughts. Trust, or faith, is the final piece that brings all the tenets of mindfulness into harmony. It doesn't matter what form your faith takes. It only matters that you have it. Trusting a higher power helps you accept new circumstances as they come because, no matter what you're facing, your faith says you can manage it. Mindfulness is the practice of cultivating a sense of our own divinity. As you practice connecting to the present moment through conscious breathing, you're learning to find a sense of calm no matter the external circumstances. Grounded within yourself, you establish trust in your ability to handle anything you may face. Everything is more manageable taken one step at a time. Conclusion. Ultimately, mindfulness is about helping you cultivate love for your work because it's love that will drive your success. The more passion you feel for what you're doing, the more easily you become subsumed in it, replacing any superfluous thoughts with deep, instinctual focus. The work has been put in, and the knowledge is there. Just take a leap of faith and trust your subconscious mind to take the lead. As you start your journey to mindfulness, remember the 5 spiritual superpowers. 1. Mindfulness. Teach your brain to focus on the present moment. 2. Concentration. Ground yourself internally to cut out distractions. 3. Insight. Know your mental weaknesses and address them. 4. Right effort. Direct your practice toward your goals. 5. Trust. Bring it all together and have faith in your ability to handle whatever comes. About George Mumford. After injuries sidelined him from a basketball career, George Mumford dove deep into meditation and mindfulness practice. He's made a profession of teaching mindfulness to executives and professional athletes, and now works for the New York Knicks. Thank you for listening to the snapshot of The Mindful Athlete by George Mumford. If you liked what you heard, then make sure to explore the rest of our snapshot library to continue gaining key insights from nonfiction books in a matter of minutes.
Thank you for listening to our quick learning audiobook review series. If you liked what you heard, then check out our channel for more free audiobook reviews. We post new audiobooks every week. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to be first to hear of our latest reviews.